Hey everybody, what's up? This is Sweezy's World. Could be your world. Hey, look, thanks for stopping by and taking a few moments out of your day to listen to this little broadcast. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, any thumbs ups you could roll my way if you like or dislike anything. Just let me know. Let me know what you might want to go over and stuff like that. I'll be more than happy to talk about what anybody wants me to talk about. And I just kind of want to say that on my channel, I kind of do and stuff that interests me. And there's a lot of things that interest me. I've got some talks on. I'm going to come up on time travel, on warp drive, what we would do in space if we were there, what's happening here on Earth, all kinds of stuff, and that's coming. But today, being Sunday, as a day of worship, you should go to church, and I firmly believe that if you can. And I just kind of wanted to start this day off with just a little bit of a prayer, maybe a little Bible verse. And I think you may or may not like it, but it's true. Take it to heart. So here we go.
Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Jesus invites us into a relationship of trust and persistence. He does not say, ask once or knock briefly. His words encourage continuous pursuit to keep asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking. Why? Because God is not distant or unwilling. He is a loving Father who desires to give good gifts to His children, as we see in Matthew chapter 7, verse 11. Sometimes we may feel like our prayers go unheard or doors remain closed for too long. But this verse reminds us God hears, God sees, and God answers in His perfect time and way. The act of asking and seeking is part of growing closer to Him, not just receiving what we want.
Amen. Well, I hope you like that. I like that. It's one of those kind of things that is pretty cool. I'm going to do that for every new video I come up with. I'll have a little Bible verse, short, sweet, just something, to let you know that God does love you. He does care about you. And you should try, and reciprocate the feelings back towards Him. One thing's for certain here. One thing I've just heard that Gen Z, they're flocking back to the Catholic Church by the hundreds. It's mostly males. They're going back to the Catholic Church. They're going back to Christianity. Why? Because they're getting tired of all this other Mickey Mouse stuff that's going on out there. All these false gods and prophets and stuff. There's an awakening. And it's glorious. People are turning back to God. And that's the way it should be. You should never, ever doubt Him and doubt His, power and glory. Because, believe me, if He wanted to, now, we have free will on this earth, that He gave us free will, which allows us to do crazy things, bad things, evil things, and to be able to choose. We choose to do wrong. And that's the thing He gave us. If He wanted little robots, He could have just made us all worship Him. No problem. He could do that. You do that, blink of an eye. And a lot of people think, well, how come bad is, all this stuff's going on and all this? It's because I said free will. There's evil in the world. There's bad things going to happen because of free will. Like I said, people choose to do bad things. Bad things, you got Satan on his side. He's pulling and tugging everybody to get away from Jesus Christ. Just saying. And you got to be strong. You got to stay strong because we got a world of deep kimchi coming. I think you can tell. We have a civil war that's fixing to hit us pretty soon. No one knows the exact date or nothing like that, but it's coming. Look what's going on with all these thousands of people demonstrating in LA and Chicago and everywhere else, all against federal law enforcement for doing their job, for just doing their job. But they can't, these people in federal law enforcement, they can't get any help from local. LAPD won't help them because their higher ups say, oh, we're a sanctuary city and we don't do that stuff. Well, in the meantime, because the federal troops are kind of outgunned just a wee bit by several hundred protesters who were throwing bottles and rocks and all kinds of stuff to hurt them, Trump is sending in 2,000 federal troops. into this LA city, Los Angeles. And believe me, they will get control. They will have the full authority to get control because President Trump is this close to not taking it anymore. They're tired of all this crap. All these freaking governors who go against him, who go against the people's word, because the people put him in office. He was elected to this office, big time. And they're going against that. You got these outcast judges who somebody's in Washington State dictating policy for the entire U.S. government across the United States. Number one, that's overstepping their jurisdiction. And number two, that's illegal. And number three, Trump will put a stop to it. And he'll go through the legal ways, but don't discount the fact that he has the power to arrest these people and put them in jail. These judges, he can arrest these judges. They can cut funding for these judges. They're federal judges. You can cut their funding big time. Just saying. Just because it hasn't happened so far don't mean it won't happen. Now, if you talk to the Democratic side, who are totally in league with Satan, they believe that if he were to do something like that he would be a tyrant. No, he's being the president of the United States. He's the executive man. He's the top dog. He has a lot of leeway, should have a lot of leeway. And these little federal judges are sitting down here, these advocate judges or whatever the heck you call them, and they just don't like anything he does whatsoever, so they're going to rule against anything he ever does. You mark my word, this will stop. Now, when this will stop, I don't know, but it's coming. And we should be prepared for something like that. Because if we don't have these, and we don't have a lot of stuff to go in them, and we don't have long-term storable food, and we don't have short-term storable food, plenty of water, all the good stuff, then we could be in a world of hurt when supply lines get cut by all these yahoos in the streets by the hundreds of thousands. I mean, you got people chanting death to America, death to you. That's right. These Palestinian sympathizers, these terrorist sympathizers. What's going to happen? We're going to war. We're going to have a civil war against it. And ultimately, we will win, but it's going to be a heavy cost. This stuff is going on all over the world. France, look, check the news. Look what's going on in France, in Paris. What's going on in Munich? What's going on in Germany? What's going on in Britain? Stuff's going to stop. At some point, stuff's going to stop. Even Britain, because they're a liberal country, they're going to draw a line because they just can't afford to have this kind of crap happen anymore. They're going to draw a line. And when it does, it's going to start a global civil war against good and evil, is what I call it. And now these are just not necessarily my opinions. You can check this all out for yourselves. All you do is watch the news, watch Fox News, watch CNN if you can handle it. They're about the most lyingest bunch of what's out there. MSNBC wouldn't know the truth if it hit them in the face. And but just saying, it's always good to watch a couple of minutes and see how much hatred is on these other news channels. And then go to One American News, go to Newsmax, and go to Fox. Even go to your local stations to a certain degree. I tell you, gents, ladies, we are in a world of deep kimchi. Always know that Jesus Christ is in control, but the act of free will, which allows all this nut stuff to go on. He gave us free will. We elect and choose to do bad things. He didn't make us do bad things. He's not making us do the right things, but he shows us the pathway to the right. Just saying, something to think about, all right, on this nice day. Right now, it's beautiful outside right now and here in the low country. And at some point today, I'm planning on a barbecue because I like barbecues, you know me. And hey, before it rains, because it's supposed to monsoon way later tonight. So at any rate, I appreciate you being here. I really do. Hit me a thumbs up. I really, could use a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, Sometimes I may talk about stuff you don't like or not interested in, and other times I may talk about things that you are interested in. I like to talk about UFOs. I like to talk about unidentified aerial phenomena. I do, and those stuff interests me. Time warps interest me. And I'm going to talk about that here relatively in a very short period of time in one of my next shows. All right. So, all right then. Hey, look, until then, there's nothing but love for you, and I truly mean it. Have a blessed day. Be safe out there. Go to church, and we'll talk to you later.